Welcome everyone. This is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about my most recent blog, TUS Part 50. Yes, we made it all the way to 50, from 1 all the way to 50. TUS stands for Tune Up Series, and Tune Up Series is a blog that I created to come out once a month to talk about how people can get a fix or a boost, that motivation, I guess you can call it, to take more action and to get into a different and a stronger mindset. Because in the world of personal development and growth, we have to understand at some point we have to take action. So the TUS is for people who are taking action. They need a little bit of boost, maybe now and again. They need a quick pick me up, and this is that. It's going to be sometimes a 5-minute read, sometimes it could be up to a 15-minute read. But what I can tell you is that after you're done reading it or watching this episode, you are going to find yourself more equipped to handle many of the problems that you're going to be facing and dealing with. Tune Up Series is tuning us up. Just like our car needs a tune up, we need that same tune up. But we don't need to stay in the bay all our life. We are meant to be free and drive on the open roads. So this is what we have accomplished in this past 50 episodes, or the past 50 TUS series. So today we're going to be talking about how to maintain the perfect harmony. And that's basically saying work-life balance. If you are familiar with our Group 3 episode that just aired about 2 weeks ago now, you are going to get into that conversation of many coaches don't believe in work-life balance. It doesn't exist. So I have written blogs on balance, how to create balance in your life. And I gave many different aspects to how you can create balance. That balance is not so much of saying, well, 10% is going to be work, 50% family. There is no perfect percent. There's only going to be what you want to accomplish. And then there's going to be also a fact that you have to pay attention to today and tomorrow. And that's going to be a conversation we're going to be diving into today. But let's take a look at that blog so we can first get the talking points and then start to dissect this conversation. Everyone, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share this video and or audio to help build a community of like-minded individuals. That is how we grow. We grow by you not only listening, but by you sharing with a family member, a friend, a close person in your life to understand that personal development doesn't have to be something that has to break the bank. What I have done with Reven Concepts is we do have paid coaching programs, and we're going to be having some other things come up in the future. I decided that I wanted to give people value. I wanted to give people coaching. I wanted to give people a personal development outlet where they can go get what they need and leave and ready to take action, because in life we should be equipped. In life we are not equipped growing up. So we have to do the work when we are an adult. But I am trying to end that where children growing up don't have to be equipped as adults. They are already equipped with the knowledge, the skills, the mindset that they need to be successful and to understand what they need to do in the world. But that's going to be a long journey. Can it happen in my life? Sure as hell going to try. But it's going to be one of those daunting tasks that is going to be a big change if it does happen. But sometimes changes like that don't happen immediately. So planting the seeds is going to be exactly what we have to do for something to grow into the mindsets of everyone to realize that, hey, this can be something wonderful. But today we're going to be talking about maintaining the perfect harmony. Like I said earlier, if you didn't watch Group 3 episode, number 1, what are you doing? But number 2, we talked about the work-life balance in life. You can't have work-life balance and think that you're doing the right thing. This is something that we are played a fool, or we are told a lie, especially when it comes to going to college, getting your college degree, then going into the workforce. That's just delaying families, to be honest, because you might want to start a family at 18, 19, 20. But if you're in college and you have courses, most likely it's not going to be the best place because number 1, you're not financially fit. But number 2, your focus is not so much on family, it's on personal development, self-growth. So you're growing in college, you're doing all these things, but when you graduate college, you have all the student loan debt maybe, and then you have to get a career. Because how are you going to pay out the student loan debt? Are you just going to say, well, that was nice, I spent all this money let me just start a family now. You are actually better off starting a family at 18 with no debt. So there is a concept to our growth and our development in how we view things. Because I think what happens is that people think they're going to create the perfect life for themselves. And they have a plan, they have a goal. And I'm not saying that goals and plans are not a good thing. But most people are living backwards. Most people are placing happiness in the future. If you remember episode 300 with my brother and myself talking about this aspect, people are always going to be looking at happiness and thinking that is the solution. But when we're trying to create harmony in our life, it's not so much about happiness, it's about an understanding. And that is where we are in this TUS Part 50, is creating an understanding. Because if you remember the last blog that came out, we were talking about critical thinking and we talked about immersion. And then now we're going to be talking about the aspect of creating perfect harmony. And it's going to all be related into our mindset, falling in love with not only personal development, but understanding deeply that our actions and our choices, they have some weight in the world. So we do have to make sure that what we do reflects on what we want. So there is a perfect harmony that we have to understand, and is going to be covered in these 4 steps. Number 1, health. 2, time. 3, focus. And 4, wealth. Is there an order to this? Not necessarily, but I would say your time and health might be number 1, maybe number 2, respectively. So depending on where you are, you might appreciate time more than health and vice versa. Focus is going to be a good spot, I believe, in number 3, and number 4 is wealth. And that's a really good spot for wealth too. So when we think about these areas, health, time, focus, and wealth, we have to be able to break them down into an understanding. And then I'm going to even break them down into a deeper understanding in the discussion breakdown. But in this breakdown for the blog, when I talk about health, I talk about how we might eat like a Big Mac or something like that. And the Big Mac might cost $4.99. But the thing about the Big Mac is that it doesn't cost us $4.99. It costs us our health. I talk about the aspect of having Netflix or Hulu or some type of streaming service, and you sit down and you watch a movie or you watch a series, and you are just there sitting for hours on end. Netflix doesn't cost you the subscription fee, or Hulu doesn't cost you just the subscription fee of $11.99 maybe. It costs you time. And then we get into focus. When you are on your phone and you're scrolling, you're going through the shorts and you're going through all the Facebook posts and you're doing the likes and the tweets and all of the social media goodnesses that come with social media. You don't use time when you're on social media. You use focus. That right there is a big one. And then we get into wealth. We talk about wealth here. We're going to be talking about wealth in a different aspect than the part of the blog today. But what I will tell you is that wealth is maybe not only about money in our pockets. It could be about life too. We're going to talk about both aspects today. These blogs break down each of these areas of perfect harmony. Number 1, health. 2, time. 3, focus. And 4, wealth. As I said, when it comes to creating the perfect harmony, work-life balance, there is an aspect that you have to understand before we get into the conversation. There is a understanding or non-spoken agreement between men and women. Women think they're more stressed out and men think they're more stressed out. But if you pin them both together, they're going to say, at the end of the day, maybe men are a little bit more stressed out. And we can talk about that. It is a conversation, a talking point that is extremely hot, and it can cause a lot of people to get stirred up, which is a good thing. Because if you think that you're so stressed, you have to ask yourself, number 1, is this stress good stress? And number 2, do I need this stress? Most often than not, you are going to be giving yourself stress that you don't need. You have to figure out, well, if I'm giving myself unnecessary stress, how do I get rid of it? Because you're not going to have any harmony if you're stressed out. So you do need to figure out what is that in your life. And I mean, who has more stress, men or women? If you look at masculine nature is more stressful. It just is. Feminine nature is typically less stressful. if you put in feminine nature and you compare it to other women, then they can have some stress because they're, fighting, infighting and things like that. But that's all instinctual, right? Because if they're fighting with each other, it's because maybe the other person's prettier, they are, they do something different, and the other person just might be hating. But that's all for mate selection, because most women are trying to get the highest quality guy. So they get the highest quality guy, but yet they still want to be masculine, yet they still want to work, yet they still want to suffer and be stressed out. And then you have to ask yourself, well, who has more stress, men or women? There's going to be good stress and there's going to be bad stress in your life. When you have a child, you're a parent, yes, you are going to be stressed out. I got to do this. My kid is doing this. There could be a lot of stress involved in being a parent, raising a child. But it's going to be maybe the best stress that you can have, because it's going to be rewarding later on in the future. When they're out of the house, you're off in college, you are not going to be, there saying, oh, I'm so glad they're gone. You're going to actually miss them. So the stress that you feel today is going to be insignificant tomorrow when they're gone. We do have to understand that there's a difference between good stress and bad stress. Typically, if you are going to work and you're forcing yourself to go to work and you don't have to go to work, you're giving yourself unnecessary stress. If you are tying yourself into family drama and dynamics that you don't have to be a part of, you're giving yourself more stress. If you're watching drama TVs, sitcoms about romance and love and things like that, you're actually stressing out the brain. The brain doesn't need that stuff. You should be focusing on your life. But the perfect harmony is not so much about doing everything perfectly. It's about understanding what do you want to accomplish, because you might have goals and those goals might come with a certain amount of stress. Makes sense, because if you want to go to school, you want to go to college, you want to start a family, all of that is going to have associated stress. But we can understand that there can be a harmony along the way. For me, I love working. I'll work 7 days a week, 365 every day. I don't mind. For some people, they need that break, but how they recharge is not maybe the best thing. When I wrote this blog, it was all associated with how to create the perfect harmony, because people are living backwards. People don't know how to recharge. People don't know how to create the balance, which is what they want to create. So people think, oh, I have to work. Oh, I don't have a choice. We always have a choice. People think that, oh, my life is so difficult because people are stressing me out. My kids don't listen. Well, why don't they listen? It all comes into the realm of harmony. And you do have to take control of your life before you can start to fix the things that need to be fixed in your life. And it might sound crazy because you might thinking you have to go out and fix all these problems. But when in reality, you have to sit back, realize what's truly going on, and attack the real issue. The real issue can be that you are the problem. You're creating the habits that are causing you to be stressed out. A great example is credit card debt. You might say that credit cards are the problem. Credit cards are the problem, and the reason why I'm, not able to get by is because I have all this credit card debt. No, the credit cards are not the problem. I'm sorry to say. You are the problem. You have a spending problem. You have an issue with being responsible. You don't have good financial literacy. You are the problem. So when we create that discrepancy between what we are doing, what has happened, we're putting the blame on the credit cards rather than the blame on ourselves. So when we're trying to create the perfect harmony, I want you to think of it in the other way. I want you to stop saying, well, the reason why I don't have any time is because of work. Or the reason why I'm not healthy is because I don't have any time to go to the gym. Or the reason why I'm not focused is because my kids are yelling all day. No. You are the problem. You need to be the solution. It's not something else. We're not passing off our excuses or our blame onto someone else. We are taking extreme ownership today. TUS Part 50, the perfect harmony, how to maintain it, how to attain it. Number 1, health. I talked about a Big Mac doesn't cost $4.99. It costs you your health. The reason why we are going out eating fast food, we're not doing the things that are going to be good for our body. It could be a plethora of reasons. Number 1, we don't know how to cook. So you don't cook and you just kind of go out and you get whatever. Maybe you're not prioritizing your health. So you're not saying, I'm going to eat healthy. Maybe you're already in a very bad place. So you're just in that limited, stressed out mindset already. Well, what's the point? Well, the point is you're going to keep getting worse. So you might as well stop the bleeding before you bleed out. The sad reality, though, is that many people are going to lose their health. And when they finally get that doctor's note, that trauma in their life, they're going to say, whoa, I can't believe this is happening to me. Why me? And the reason why is because they fail to pay attention. So you can keep on eating those Big Macs and thinking it's only costing you $3.99, $4.99, whatever it costs for a Big Mac nowadays. But it's actually costing you your health. And the thing about health, and the reason why I have it as number one, is because I believe health is going to be maybe my most important thing when it comes to creating a good harmony in my life. If I can be healthy, I can win at almost anything else, because I understand if I need more energy, I need my health to be right there too. So I'm focused so much on going to the gym in the morning, working out, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think people think you have to go to the gym and like kill yourself every single day. Now, those are some of the best and greatest workouts that you can do some days. Sometimes it's just about maintaining. But if you have not been maintaining, then you have to attain. So if you are not in the right body, you need to get into the right body. Get a trainer, get a coach, make a plan. Get your health back on track, and then create the harmony that you're looking for in your life when it comes to health. Then we get into the aspect of time. Time is going to be one of those things that people don't even realize they're wasting. But yet, everyone in the world will say, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to do this or that. And they will keep on making excuses to why they don't have any time. But when in reality, all we have is time. Because eventually our hourglass is going to end. There's going to be no more sand in it. That means time is over for us and we are long and gone. There's no help for us. But what I can tell you is that today we have time. If you're listening to this, you have time. And you can do something that's going to benefit your future. What is that going to be? Is it going to be getting your health on track? Is it going to be getting your finances on track? Your relationships, your family on track? Whatever that is, we all have 24 hours in our day. In this blog, I talk about ways that you can get your time back. I do this with almost every client that walks in the door. Most clients are looking for life and mindset coaching. Some are looking for career. If they're looking for like career, relationship, maybe parenting, but parenting is still associated with time. So I have them make out a 24-hour time block. And in that 24-hour time block, we're putting everything we do, whether you're wasting time on your phone or if you're being productive. I want to know about it. And then you can see what you're doing. And it might seem like you're doing so much. But when I show people my schedule, my 24-hour time block, they go, wait, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, this is what I do in a day. Then they look at theirs and it's like, well, mine sucks now. No. It's not that you're a suck. It's just that you don't know how to live a life full of purpose yet. And that is where this TUS is going to lead us, to a life full of purpose. Because we don't want to be wasting our time on things that are insignificant. Watching Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I mean, yes, it might be a good moment to sit down with the family and watch a movie. But are you going to be there watching Game of Thrones for the 15th time, or watching The Office for the 5th time, or watching some new series that you don't even really care for but is new? How many people can relate to that? So we waste our time, but yet we will say that we don't have time. And I know it might be one of those things where if you say, well, I don't want to give it up because then I might miss out the fear of missing out the FOMO. What I can tell you is that I've been in that place where I wanted to be up to date on all the latest and greatest movies. Basically, I was like some movie buff critic. If you needed a movie, you can email me, call me, and I say, hey, this is a great movie. But I have learned that movies are a waste of time for me. Not saying that movies are not great. I love to watch an occasional movie, but it's like one every 3 months or something like that. And that's like with my family. I know when my kid is a little bit older, I might have to watch some cartoon movies with him. Like that's like spending family time almost, because it's going to be the development process too. Because I'm going to make sure that when we're watching movies, we're not just sitting there in silence. I'm going to be asking questions. Hey, what do you think about that? Critical thinking. I'm going to be just asking them questions. I'm going to make this a learning lesson. So that is time. Then we get into focus, and this is something that I struggle with sometimes, and it's because when you are so busy, sometimes the littlest thing can set you off track. It can derail you. It's like if you're going at a very rapid speed, you're a NASCAR racer going 200 plus miles an hour. The slightest irk of the wheel, if there's something in the middle of the road, an oil slick, the road is wet, or it's just not right, you can go flying because of this small incident. So you might be personally developed, you might have a great mindset, you might have your schedule locked down, but you actually are struggling with maintaining focus. Many people don't realize that their cell phones are going to be maybe the main reason why they can't stay focused. Television can be another reason. Ambition, stress can be more reasons. But typically our focus is lost because we are just in the mindset of gimme, 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 gimme something new. So we're on our YouTube shorts, we're on our TikToks, we're scrolling through posts on Twitter, we're doing emails and we're doing messages and we're doing likes and comments and we're on Omegle. We are just losing our focus, right? So when we're supposed to be doing something big, you're supposed to be editing a podcast, you're supposed to be writing that book, you're supposed to be doing that presentation, practicing your martial arts or sport. You're supposed to be doing that, but yet you're on your phone, yet you're playing a video game, yet you're not doing the real life, the real world responsibilities. We do have to apply some focus on the things that matter and make sure that we're not giving our time and our focus to the things that don't matter. You might think that scrolling through TikTok and on YouTube for an hour is a good use of time. Yes, you might be entertained, but you're actually losing focus. So when you have a good choice to make in the morning, do you make the choice or do you go to social media? One of the quickest ways to lose focus and to lose momentum in your day, in the first thing in the morning typically, is to look at your phone. You're going to see emails, you're going to see missed text messages, you're going to see all the things on social media, and you want to dive into it, but I encourage you not to. I wake up, my phone, literally, I'm not even lying to you, I have emails, just crazy emails, text messages, crazy amounts of text messages, missed calls, and I go look at that, and I actually clear all of the notifications so I can deal with it later. So I go to the gym. That's the first thing I do. Go to the gym, work out, and then when I get home, I say, what needs my attention? Do the emails need my attention? Probably not. I can do the emails in the evening when I don't have any more energy or when I ran out of good choices. So my focus in the morning is going to be for the things that matter, not for the insignificant things. So we do have to get that under control and how to figure out how to maintain our focus. Then we get into the aspect of wealth. And this one is a two-pronged question when it comes to the tune-up series. Wealth is going to be one of those things that are going to be a great amount of riches. You have made it. You make a bunch of money. You are successful. You are loved maybe. And you have wealth in your life. But then we get into the aspect of, is wealth materialistic goods? You might have all the money in the world and be unhappy. You might have all the money in the world and be unhealthy. So do you truly have wealth? Some people might say they do, right? Their wealth is not going to dissipate and go away. But what I can tell you is that when it comes to wealth, you're not going to be able to take it with you. Your materialistic goods is not going to matter when you're dead. We live a life where we think, this is making me happy, this will make me happy, I need this. It's going to be the quickest route for disappointment. So what is wealth then, right? What type of wealth should we be trying to make? I encourage people to try to make as much money as they can in their life, because if you do have a certain amount of money, if you choose a lifestyle that is going to be way under the amount of money you're spending, then you can build some wealth. The best way I have found to build wealth is the 25% rule. And this 25% rule is something that they talk about quite often, but no one really has put it out there saying, hey, that this 25% rule, we need to talk about it. I actually don't even put the 25% rule in the blog. You can either save 25% of your income and then spend 75% of your income, or you can spend 25% of your income and save 75% of your income. You might be thinking saving 75% of your income is silly. You can't live life. You can't live on 25% of that income that you have currently. And the only thing I'm going to say is change your income. It's not that hard. Do something. Build. Grow. In the beginning, it's going to be a big step. I understand that. It's going to take a lot of mental effort. It's going to take a new mindset. It's going to take a different drive than what you're doing right now. But I know you can get there. Everyone can get there. The issue is we see things and we want things. We want the new iPhones. We want the latest and greatest cars. We want the biggest houses. And so we will spend 75% or maybe 100% of our income, and we don't focus on saving. We don't focus on investment. We don't focus on retirement. And if you remember the episode with Derek and myself, we were talking about this. Wealth is important. How do you build wealth? And you have to make a choice today. And I typically don't give ultimatums like this. It would be best for you if you made a choice today about what type of wealth do you want in your life. Do you want to save 25% and spend 75%? Or do you want to spend 25% and save 75%? Both are going to lead to something good. I'll tell you that much. One's going to make you rich. One's going to make you wealthy. If you can figure out which one is going to make you rich and which one is going to make you wealthy, then you probably are on the right track, because you get to choose just being rich or you get to choose being wealthy. It's not going to be for everyone, right? Some people just want to be rich. They're going to live their life, with an abundance. And then anyone who comes after them, their family, kids, whatever, they're not going to be wealthy. They might not even be rich. You can live a lifestyle, baller lifestyle, a high status lifestyle today. When you're dead and gone, not your problem anymore, right? You're gone. But then if you have the mentality of building wealth, trying to get rid of the generational curse of financial illiteracy, financial struggle, all that can be done with one person, just committing and being relentless into their craft and what they're trying to do. Be the best at what you want to do. Be the best at what you do, and you'll find that wealth follows. Riches are going to come first. But if you don't know about the 25% rule, just what I said, you're going to find yourself either rich or wealthy. And I will say most people decide to be rich. All the NBA players decide to be rich. They don't decide to be wealthy. Maybe 1% of them might choose to be wealthy. But again, this is a mindset. This is an understanding that people don't realize. So in closing, when we're talking about our TOS Part 50, maintaining the perfect balance, perfect harmony, we are talking about how you can maintain the 4 areas in your life that are going to be number 1, health, 2, time, 3, focus, and 4, wealth. When we are focused on those different areas, we're going to be looking at life through a different lens. And that lens is not going to be of, oh, I need to work a 9 to 5, or I need to work 50% of my life, or I need to spend time with my family 30%. Or I need to adjust this so everything's the perfect balance. And you spend 33% at work, 33% at home, 33% with fun and, health and fitness and whatever like that, right? You might think that just splitting everything up is going to be the perfect balance. But the issue with the perfect balance is that it's not perfect to you. So you have to figure out what is your balance, what is the harmony you're trying to make, and then from there, create it. When we're looking at these 4 areas and when we're looking at what we have to do in our life, it's going to be a daunting task for many people to show up in their life. This is where you need a coach. This is where you need someone who's going to help you along the way. It might seem like you can just do this yourself and you can get a trainer maybe and then think everything else is going to fall into place because you focus on your health. But when it comes to life, mindset, fitness is only one piece of the puzzle. How many people start a resolution to get into shape, be fit, but yet they don't continue on? And it's because they don't understand that just mastering your health is not going to guarantee that you're going to master your time. It doesn't mean you're going to be focused, and it doesn't mean that you're going to have some level of wealth in your life. And whether that wealth be materialistic or intrinsically good things. So you do have to decide what type of harmony are you trying to create. I can tell you that in my life, I like to work. My harmony is working. If I'm on the beach, I'm probably thinking about work because that is just me. I'm thinking about how can I do another recording? I know I'm on the beach. Let me do a video. Let me make something. Let me have a meeting. Let me do some calls. It might seem like I'm not enjoying life, but that is life to me. I want my time to be spent on growing, on developing the business, building the brand, changing people's lives. I understand that wealth comes with that, but it's not so much of riches alone. Because if you think that you can't live on 25% of your income, then that means, number one, you are living in the wrong lifestyle, or two, you're not making enough. Most people are actually doing both. So they are living in the wrong lifestyle and they are not making enough money. So you do have to make a choice. You can choose to live in mediocrity, complacency, or you can start to take action. How to create the harmony that you need in your life. Get back in shape. Get your body and your mind right. Making sure that you know your schedule, what you're going to do every single day. And don't just simply waste your time doing pointless and needless things. That's going to be your movies, hanging out with friends maybe. Yes, I understand it can be a fun thing, but you do have to do yourself a favor and to make sure that you have good, strong focus so you can keep doing the things that you're supposed to be doing instead of wasting time. And if you can master those three areas, right, your health, your time, and your focus, then it's only a matter of time until wealth follows. That's going to include materialistic living, and it's going to also include intrinsic living. But I have found that intrinsic living and the acts of service might not come if you're only focused on trying to make more. You do have to understand, as long as you can reach that 25% in either or aspect of what I said today, you are going to be on the right track. Do you want to create something that's going to be everlasting? You want something that's just going to be around for your lifetime? You get to decide. What I can say is that the perfect harmony is going to be up to you. That means you have to read this blog, get on board, and then figure out, well, what do you need to do? And like I said earlier, you're going to need a coach maybe. You're going to need a guide. You're going to need someone along the way if you are struggling in more than one of these areas. Because you might think that you're struggling with your finances and you might think that, okay, well, as long as I focus on the other three, everything's going to be okay. But reality shows is if you're going to be focusing on your health and you're not focusing on the time you spend and you're losing focus because you're doing all these things and you're not figuring out what is the result to your actions, you're going to find that you're just running around, and most people live that way, right? Rat race type of living. They mistake movement for progress. Again, creating the perfect harmony does not have to be rocket science. It can be brought to you on a silver platter here at Reven Concepts. This is what we do. We help people find the harmony that they're looking for in their life, and then we give them the results that they're looking for. It might seem too good to be true, but what I can tell you is that try us out for a month and you'll see just how much you love us. My name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me coachingasession@gmail.com. Head over to revenconcepts.com, get yourself a consultation, or sign up for some coaching. And I'll see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.